Hello, Laura. Happy Friday here at AccuWeather.
We made it, TGIF.
Yes.
And as usual, there's a big weather story today. One for the United States and then one that's a little bit bigger across North and then Central America as well. So I thought what we'd do is start off with the flooding issue that we're having in Texas. And this is something that you've heard us talk about several days now. In fact, this started out in Arizona. Remember we were talking Monday to Tuesday about all the hail reports that they had and the localized heavy rain. And then it moved into New Mexico and then West Texas. Well, now you can see the area of greatest threat really is an axis starting around, say, Texarkana, back to Dallas, Fort Worth, including Austin, San Antonio. Now, we're not saying every location in that red shade is going to see flooding. We're saying that's the area where it is the most possible. We have tropical moisture streaming in the jet, an area of low pressure. So some locations have already picked up, even in just the last 24 hours, we're talking more than 4 inches of rain, and it's continuing to rain there this morning. Now, it's not all bad news. Of course, you never want to see 4 inches of rain in one spot over such a short period of time. But if there's a location that could really use a little bit of help, it would be parts of Central and North Texas. This is our drought monitor, and we've put the legend on for you in the bottom right-hand corner there. You can see the darkest shade of red is exceptional drought. So Waco over to Shreveport and many locations in between. And then even in that second shade of red, the extreme drought. So we have a good chunk of Central, East Texas, and Arkansas and Louisiana that really could use a little bit of rain. When you see all of it at once, a lot of it will start to run off, so it's not all as beneficial as it could be if we saw little amounts day by day by day. But trying to look at this a little bit of a positive way is some of this rain could be helpful here.
And people are definitely asking about Hurricane Patricia here. Is this hurricane a once-in-a-lifetime event? 200 miles per hour is scary. Is Cat 5 the highest category hurricane? So that's something you can answer here, Laura, for us for Periscope.
Certainly can. So Category 5 is the highest that it will get on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Strongest hurricane on record in the Western Hemisphere. And this, of course, went from a 4 to a 5 overnight, winds gusting to 240 miles an hour. And the pressure, so the strength of this system, we sometimes talk about what is the lowest central pressure. Well, 880 millibars is just remarkable. In fact, this is an all-around scary storm situation. It is going to make landfall here later on today in parts of southwest Mexico. So
that was the next question. Where is it now, they said?
South of Puerto Vallarta, and we've got some details for you here. It's moving to the north-northwest at 12 miles an hour, so we're expecting it to make landfall sometime this evening or early tonight, and I'll put this into motion for you, and you can see how the icon there, it went from a 4 to a 5, and that indicates it going from a Category 4 hurricane to a 5. There's the winds, 200 miles an hour, and this is some of the simulated radar that we have. But as far as the forecast track goes, through the rest of today, making landfall around maybe a little bit north of Manzanillo, Mexico, and then into Saturday, continuing to move over the higher elevations, and into Sunday, approaching Monterey. Now, a couple things about this. This is a life-threatening storm for parts of southwest Mexico. This is a terrible situation that is unfolding for them. We're talking about a big storm surge, especially just to the right of where this storm actually makes official landfall. Huge amounts of rainfall, and as it moves over the mountainous terrain, we're talking about the chance for mudslides and landslides. In addition to that, just the copious amounts of rainfall that fall on the coast, and of course those winds to within 30 to 40 miles of the center. We're talking about those winds gusting close to 250 miles an hour, which is just terrible. As it moves northeast, it will start to fall apart. The mountains tend to kind of tear these storms apart a little bit, and of course it's going to lose its energy source, which is the warm water over the Pacific. The interesting thing becomes, as it continues to move its way eastward, it is going to emerge somewhere in southern Texas into the southwest Gulf Coast. We already have a trough of low pressure here. So even though Patricia is going to basically be torn apart by the mountains, we'll have some remnants of it left over, a little bit of that remnant circulation. And as that moves its way along the Gulf Coast, what we'll likely start to see is additional rainfall in some similar locations that are seeing it now, which is why even as we go into Sunday and Monday, we're still highlighting areas Shreveport to Houston, Galveston, out to New Orleans, including Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and then even into parts of coastal Mississippi, because we're going to see that additional moisture coming in off the Gulf of Mexico. The water there is very warm. So
Yeah, people are asking if you think they should start vacating. They're comparing this to Katrina. I mean, it does sound absolutely devastating right now from what it's looking like.
Yeah, it is going to be a bad situation for far southwest of Mexico. As far as the states go right now, we're fine. This is really going to be torn apart here over Mexico in the next 48 hours or so. What we're going to be looking at this point, the thing we're really monitoring is how much moisture is left. So how much rain falls over those areas that have already seen a lot of it. As far as this hurricane is concerned and the tropical characteristics right now, we're focusing on southwest Mexico.
Well, thank you so much for keeping us updated here. You can also follow our AccuWeather en Espanol account as well. He'll be keeping you updated there too. All right, thanks so much, Laura.
Thanks, guys.